We've just had the most significant commander banning ever. Are you furious or elated? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, my name is DJ. This is the Jumbo Commander YouTube channel, and on Monday, September 23rd, we just had quite possibly the largest commander banning ever. We have had 4 cards banned, and some of them are the most played, the most expensive, the most popular pieces of fast mana out there. Dockside Extortionist is banned. Jeweled Lotus is banned. Mana Crypt is banned. And then also Nadu Winged Wisdom is banned too. One of these things is not like the other. One thing to note is that the banned list in the rules for Commander is not run by Wizards of the Coast. It's run by the Rules Committee. The Commander ban list is like a huge topic, and I'm really not going to cover all of the intricacies of it. But just to give you a little bit of background, it includes a bunch of different cards. Some of them are fundamentally incompatible with a 40 life multiplayer format. They just don't work, and so they need to be banned. And really, some of them just remain a mystery to me why they are still banned. But all of that is background to these cards and the reasoning behind this banning. Let's take a look at that reasoning. The philosophy of Commander prioritizes creativity, and one of the ways we have historically reflected that in the rules and ban list is to create a slower pace of game than traditional formats. This gives decks time and space to develop and do different things. We have a goal to make it easier for players who enjoy slower, more social games to have an environment for them to explore. Commander has always had the potential for someone to get out to a fast start and be the first arch villain in the game, but that advantage has been balanced by having multiple players gunning for them once it happens. In the past few years, notably since Strixhaven School of Mages, we've seen a pattern of stronger mid-game cards that allow the player who skips past the early game to snowball their advantage straight through to the win. Occasional games like that are fine, but it shouldn't be common. And we're taking steps to bring that frequency down a bit by banning 3 of the most explosive plays in the format. Their logic is sound, they explain their reasoning, and it's right. Those fast mana cards do transition someone into the mid-game, and the mid-game is more powerful than it ever has before. Fast mana can create huge imbalances. That means that if I'm playing in a power level that has fast mana, I'll also be bringing that heavy interaction to the table. Like, I will play a completely different deck if we're playing in a power level with fast mana. But I got to admit, I really like playing at that level. It is so fun. Like, I love those huge explosive plays that you can't get in other formats. Like, that power level of just going out and doing something wild, it's really fun to me. Honestly, I even like it when other people do it too. If like we're all playing at that level and someone goes crazy, you got to go after them and rein them in. It's a fun way to play. I do understand it's not for everyone though. I guess the takeaway is that different people have fun in different ways, but maybe I'm not the person that the rules committee is making rules for anymore, because they say, prioritize creativity, enjoy slower, more social games. So maybe if I'm trying to be, super push, super competitive, interact with my opponents, like maybe that's not for me anymore. Gosh, it drives me crazy. It's not to say that I don't enjoy those slow social games. I really do. I just don't play my decks that have crazy fast mana in it. I specifically don't play certain cards because they don't match the game I'm playing in front of me. And so if I'm playing with a different play group, or if I'm playing with certain decks, like I'll make that adjustment, or we'll all come to that conclusion when we talk about the style of game that we're playing. If I fast mana and snowball it into an easy win because my opponents aren't prepared for that pressure, I don't think that's a fun game. And I don't think I'm playing Commander right. But if I do that through interaction and my opponents are excited for me because I did my thing, gosh, I love that feeling. Also, I think it kind of drives me crazy a little bit that they say like more social games. It's like, no, I'm having social games, like super social fun games. That competitiveness means that we're suddenly prioritizing games and winning over having fun with our friends. I mean, maybe that's true, but I don't see that. I have tons of fun when we're playing at that level. Maybe I'm coming to the conclusion that the rules committee is not really here for me, They're here for a very specific type of commander player. I also don't know if they're here for competitive EDH players, the CDH community, because that's not really describing them either. But part of that rankles me a little bit. You know, the average Magic player is 30 years old, and you have a rules committee that says, you know, fast mana is not a right, it's a privilege. And you guys keep pub stomping the noobs with it. You don't know how to manage your play groups, so we're taking it away. Sorry. That's not fair. I'm projecting. But it kind of feels like that sometimes. I do want to acknowledge some particular pain points when it comes to this banning. I think the price tag on some of these cards made this particularly hard because some people spent a lot of money to make their decks awesome. And now they have these cards in it that are worth nothing. And they just got to pull them out again, man. That sucks because that could have been an entirely other commander deck. But I think that the high price is a product of how strong these cards are. And so the price is kind of tied to how format warping they are. Honestly, I think the rules committee has an impossible task because they have to manage the commander meta. And what is the commander meta? It's everywhere, from the friends that pick up precons at their big box store and play with each other, to CDH with the most exacting and precise decks possible, and everything in between. It's so diverse, you can't manage it properly. And so whenever you try to, you're gonna make people upset. You're gonna leave people out. I don't like bannings. I'm not upset though. I'm just wondering what portion of the commander community this is addressing. I'm just wondering who has the narrow view of this format. Is it me? Like, are there actually, tons of players out there getting pub stomped at LGSs from people playing these $200 cards and winning games, and then these new players or these players that don't have the cards and the resources, they feel awful. They feel stifled. The format isn't growing and they're leaving. Because I would give up all of my fast mana to have this format grow. But then there's my perspective. Like, are there home games and commander nights where they're friends that come together and people balance their decks to their play groups? They have pregame conversations where you try your best to match decks up so you can have a fun time. I'm experiencing that second vision. But it doesn't mean that that other one isn't out there. And it just reiterates the fact that everyone plays Commander different. No singular approach will address everyone's needs. I hate bannings, but I know how powerful these cards are. And I know that they can lead to explosive runaway games. I've done it. I've seen it happen. That's the fun of them. And so if we can make a more creative, inclusive commander table, then I'm in for it, even though I am a little bit disappointed. A lot of it disappointed. I don't even get to replace my Mana Crypt with a more exciting card because I honestly had it replacing a land, so I just got to put a land back in. All right, everyone, tell me what you think in the comments down below. All your hot takes. Be civil, but share what you think. That's important. All right, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.